I'm going to begin this little video with a detail of a candelabra here that is on this marvelous table near the papal quarters, the quarters given to Pius IX while he was here in 1849 and 1850. And if I pan up, you'll see how beautifully worked this is. It's probably gold over bronze, typical of the intricate work of the era. And so as we walk back through the apartments, and we're going to turn left because we're sort of the back corner, again, we face a large gallery of rooms down the side of the palace. This is a bedroom, and the bedroom was used by an individual called Murat, who's a famous figure in the history of the era. And the bed is really quite something, and the bedroom is quite something as well. The walls here are, unlike some of the others, they're not carved stone, they are wallpapered. And you can see the beautiful wallpaper there, the double crystal chandeliers hanging high, high, high from the ceiling, way up there, and the other one right here. And then the amazing four-cornered bed here below with the draperies around it that would have been drawn around the bed at night to keep it both quiet and perhaps free of mosquitoes to the extent that it could, and also to just exhibit the luxury of sleeping in such a place and in such a grand room. Um, Again, the size of the rooms, well, you can see the people in here. So these rooms are really quite large, and the ceilings are all vaulted in every single room, but they're all decorated in a different way. This one, even though it looks 3D, is not. This is all flat paint. This is all imagery. So anything that looks like it's 3D is meant to look like that. It's an optical illusion, but a beautiful one. Here's the bed, and it's really quite something. It actually looks kind of comfortable, doesn't it? Really rather majestic. Side furniture here, an enormous desk, and frequently these desks would open up in various ways with secret drawers and various panels that would extend. Here is a chest of drawers. And again, a close-up of this wallpaper, which is a pale sort of a sea green with gold striping. Really quite beautiful. This, of course, would all be original, all restored, brought back to its former wealth and richness. Here, now we're going to switch to a completely different color palette, and we're now in the burgundy red, things that we frequently associate with royalty. Sometimes not that green, but here we have another one, a second room belonging to Gioacchino Murat, the man whose bedroom we just went through. So this would have been a sitting room, having a polite, perhaps afternoon conversation or a little bit of coffee in a room like this. By the way, there is the presence of some contemporary art here in the palace. Here'd be one example of it. These are scattered throughout. So not all of the artwork, for example, is traditional artwork as we would have, for example, on this wall, painting of one of the royal family members or one of the nobility there. But on this wall right over here, we go right over to contemporary art. Bit of a difference in style, don't you think? And there again, a gorgeous table, gold leaf, carved wood, really extraordinary. So again, we're walking through, and once more, again, the bright, bright light that comes through these big, big windows. We had shutters that could be shut to shut it all out at night, but it was not a depressing place in that regard. You know, if you look at the history and some of the images of medieval castles, now those were really depressing places. They were just incredibly dark and incredibly cold and incredibly damp. These places were obviously much more modern. They weren't comfortable in the sense that we would think of a lot of comfort, but they were certainly well furnished. Here is an elevated table. I really wouldn't know exactly what this would be, except perhaps in its most obvious interpretation. It looks like a flower stand, a place where you would put flower pots. So it's quite high. I mean, it's almost 5 feet high by itself. It has little shelves in it, and again, another antechamber, another room. This would have been a master painting of what the palace looked like in its day, with all of these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of courtiers uh, parading up to it. That would have been that front lawn that I referred to, and there's the front doors of the castle in the painting right there. Same thing that you would see today, basically. Same building, different details, but same building. And there it is as a painting on the wall. So if we continue to walk through, and again, we have these small side chambers off the main chambers. This is, I'm going to show you over here if I can kind of reach over here. This is a little dressing room on the side. So a little dressing room with a mirror and a chair, and I presume a little desk that opens, place perhaps for cosmetics and other things like that. So the next room is going to be also interesting because you're probably wondering um, about the bathrooms. And there is actually a bathroom in here. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. But here is one of the chambers, the bedroom of the king. And you can see that this bed is truly grand. Look at the decor on the corners. The carved gold lions, 1, 2, and there's 2 on the other side, so there's 4 altogether. The guardians on the bedposts, beautiful carved wood bed, the bedding itself, the draperies over the bed to keep it shaded at night, the table to gather around in the morning to get up. Over there, an enormous roll-top desk to sit at and perhaps do some writing. A chest of drawers over there. A giant fireplace at the end. An enormous mirror above it. And 2 huge windows that look out to the front of the palace. So we're sort of in the same wing as we were before with the throne room. So that's where we are. So if you just kept walking further back and further around, you'd wind up back at the throne room. But here we are in the king's bedroom, and you can see that the top of the bed leaves no doubt as to whose bed it was. And then the side chambers again over there would have been side rooms for servants and storage and so forth and so on. And then over here is what I referred to before as the facilities. Now there are some people here, so it's going to be a moment before I can get in there to show you. But right through that door, so in a sense, next to the bed, a few steps away, was the king's facilities. And you're going to see a very large carved stone or marble tub and a dressing table at which he would have been prepared for the day. And maybe he did it himself, but I'm sure he had a lot of servants to help him get ready and to look good. So we're going to walk up to the door now, and I'm going to peek through. And here you go into the bathroom. There you go. There's the tub. And there would have been a more private facility, probably through there in that room, which we cannot see for other personal purposes. There's a real wonderful detail here. This has spigots, and the spigots are actually listed as freda for cold and calda for hot. So this palace in the 1700s had hot and cold running water. Go figure. Isn't that amazing? And there's the tub right there. So it wasn't filled by hand, it was filled by spigots, just kind of the way we would do today. Remarkably modern when you think of it. And there's the dressing table, a beautiful bit of delicate marble work there with a mirror. Quite stunning, don't you think? Quite stunning.